Welcome to a special episode of the Talon Talks podcast from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. I'm Alan Caesar. As part of Embry-Riddle's Aviation Week, we're meeting with 3 representatives from FedEx. They are visiting campus to talk to students in our Aviation Maintenance Science program who are recipients of the Purple Runway Aviation Scholarship. Now, rather than introduce you guys myself, I'd like to hand that off so the listeners can get to know your voices. Scott, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Scott Ogden. I'm VP of Aircraft Maintenance at FedEx. What does that mean? I've got about 3,000 mechanics and staff that report up through me, and we maintain a fleet of about 420 airplanes at the moment, and growing, Airbuses and Boeings and other fleet types. And we also do some of our internal hangar maintenance around our system, mainly in Memphis, Indianapolis, and Los Angeles.
That's great. And Tony?
My name's Anthony Castro. I go by Tony. 29-year with FedEx, and I'm a senior manager within aircraft maintenance, responsible for manpower planning and business analysis. I was a graduate of Embry-Riddle back in 1991, professional aeronautics. Went to a satellite campus, so I think that's what you know now as worldwide. 30 years ago.
That's great. Doug?
Yeah, my name is Doug Johnson. I graduated from Embry-Riddle back in 1991 as well, the Daytona Beach campus, with a degree in aviation technology with the AMT and avionics combined. I'm currently a manager at FedEx Aircraft Maintenance Manager, and my primary area of responsibility is the apprentice AMT program, but I do other tasks as required.
Now, you two both graduated in 91, but totally different campuses, so you didn't know each other at all, I'm assuming.
No, we didn't.
Now, have you guys worked together at FedEx now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually report to Tony. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we got a boss relationship here. Okay, no pressure. When did you find out that you were both Embry-Riddle alumni?
We just recently, actually, I guess a couple months ago, we started talking about coming down here this week, and that's when we actually were discussing and found out that we were both. And then actually this week, as we discuss more, the same year that we graduated, so it was kind of unique.
Now, clearly this Purple Runway program must be very important to FedEx, since you're willing to send 3 people to our campus to talk to students about it, one of them being the VP of Aircraft Maintenance. As an introduction to this to our listeners who might not know about this program, can you tell us, Scott, a bit about the mission of Purple Runway and why it's so important to FedEx?
Sure. Well, it's actually, interestingly, it's important to the industry as much as it is FedEx. Over the last few years, especially from a technical side, it's been hard recruiting and finding people that either are experienced or even staying in the aviation field. So we gave that some consideration. Thought, so how can we get at some of these people to help fill our needs at FedEx, but also in the aviation industry? Because again, there's a lot of people that are retiring and will be in the next several years, and it just wasn't seeing that same number of people coming into the industry. So we believe that this would be a way to help people that are in aviation or in school financially, so they can complete their education and then hopefully come and join FedEx. So it's like I said, it's two-piece. It's about FedEx and it's about the aviation industry itself.
Now, Tony, you've been there for 29 years at FedEx. What's kept you around so long?
It's a great company, and I've only been in this position for just over a year, and I've held so many different other positions within FedEx, and that really is why I've been around for so long, is because I've had the ability to go to other areas, to other locations. I did a 3-year stint in Asia for FedEx Express, so as aircraft maintenance manager. So just so many opportunities to do different things is why I've been around.
Yeah. And it's a good point about the flex. You've got to certainly have some flexibility, coming into this aviation business as well. But there's opportunities all over, as Tony said, all over the world. It's not even just here in the States.
And really, as a testimony to what Scott was just saying about, the internal candidates, I mean, I went that route as well. I got on at FedEx Express just as a part-time handler before I got into maintenance. But the thing is I didn't have to do that very long. The sacrifice is not that big. I was fortunate enough within less than a year to be able to go into into maintenance. So the testimony is that there are a lot of candidates who want to get on with us in aircraft maintenance, and they're doing that. They're making that sacrifice to work as like a part-time handler for a short period of time.
Well, so normally you guys would be meeting in person with a large group of students to take their questions, but since that's not really possible with the pandemic, that's why I'm here with you today, or you're here with me, depending on how you look at it.
We're here together.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. All right. So we asked students what questions they had for you, and I am merely acting as their mouthpiece. So one student asked, what you look for in a scholarship recipient, and I think I would like to clarify that if I understand correctly, FedEx establishes a scholarship and sets the criteria for that scholarship, but you guys don't actually choose the individual recipients, do you?
No. So we leave that to the school. We provide those funds, but who would know the students any better than the faculty here at Embry-Riddle? So yes, we leave that decision up to the school.
But I can say after meeting some of them here within the last hour, whoever did do that did a great job.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh gosh, yeah, it's
great kids.
So much fun to see. Yeah,
absolutely.
Why is it important to have a diverse workforce? Why do you feel like that's an important part of this initiative?
Diversity itself is important because you have people that think differently. Of course, this has been a male-dominated business forever. And it's quite refreshing, actually, to see from the scholarship standpoint that almost half the scholarship recipients last year and this year are females. And we've done a lot of work with women in aviation and everything. So it's really nice to see that there are women coming into this business because they are absolutely capable of doing what men can do. And this is providing some of those women the opportunity to get a start in the aviation career.
What experience do you look for in a potential employee?
Attitude, if you will, is really, almost number one. You train you hire for attitude and train for skill. You may have heard that before. That's a component, especially from a new and no experienced, employee. We do a little bit of both. We hire people with experience, and I'm talking about mechanics, A&P mechanics. And so when we're doing that, we're looking as much for the technical abilities, but we're looking for folks with good attitudes that are self-starters and want to be with the company for a long time. We've got a long history of long employees. In fact, Tony had said he's 29 years, so I guess I'm making him look young because I'm 36 years with the company. I wish I was 36 years old.
Well, we're definitely also, obviously looking for A&P mechanics. I mean, that's the focus of the need is A&P mechanics. So those obviously seeking to track as an A&P.
So I might just to add a little bit around that attitude part. And of course, new students too are energetic, and it's so refreshing to see, that's out there. So we are looking for for that in employees. I've seen and would rather work with people with great attitudes, self-starters that don't have experience than I think they can outwork some people that I've seen with experience that just because of their attitude, it's just somebody that's really wouldn't be helpful to our company or probably any other company for that matter.
Well, so related to that, and maybe we've already exhausted this avenue, but a student asked if I want to work for FedEx, but I have no experience in aviation maintenance besides my school, what should I do to get a job? Is there a way to get additional training or experience?
Yes, I mean, I can start, and I can just share my own testimony as well, is that, to get in with, we have the apprentice program, the apprentice AMT program, where you don't need experience, you just need your AMP. And of course, we've already talked a little bit about that those jobs get taken primarily from internal candidates, from those who are working part-time or working in another location. So the best opportunity for you to get on with us without experience is to get on with FedEx doing some type of part-time job, and then looking out for those apprentice positions that we do have open up, which is actually occurring more than in the past. So that's a great opportunity if you don't have experience, is our apprentice program.
Yeah. Doug, can you tell us a bit more about the apprentice program?
The FedEx's traditional requirement for as long as I know has been to have, to get into aviation maintenance as an AMT, is to have 36 months experience working on heavy jets. And, one way of getting that experience is our apprentice AMT program. And right now we have approximately 100 or so apprentices system-wide. I'm always looking for opportunities to grow the program. And, it's not impossible for us to hire from outside the company for those positions. In fact, about a year ago, I was able to post a couple of positions external in Memphis. But, it is, like Tony was saying, it is kind of a challenge because there are so many internal candidates that are going to schools, have their certifications, and they've been working inside the company in some capacity, and they have visibility to the internal postings before they can ever go external. So, that's the primary avenue for somebody with no experience. But the other avenue would be, I guess, to go work for an MRO type facility or another airline and get that experience there. And that's kind of the avenue I took. I was fortunate when I graduated Embry-Riddle here to get picked up by Delta Airlines, and I worked for about 14 years at Delta. And, it was a great experience, a great learning opportunity. And it, post 9/11, when the airlines weren't doing so well, FedEx is waiting. And I was able to, about 16 years ago, jump into a position in our maintenance control facility at FedEx. Worked a couple of years on the Douglas desk there, which is basically a call center for aircraft maintenance, where we kind of coordinate and command things. And, I only stepped into management here 2 years ago, so you never know where this business can take you. And I think it's a great business to be in, a great opportunity.
A lot of people ask, what's the secret sauce to get into, FedEx? And really what Doug just described really is that secret sauce today, and that is getting a part-time position somewhere in the company, or any position in the company, and then when we have an opening, you're able to fill those positions, and it's almost exclusively how we do our hiring, with an exception that comes up not very often. In fact, the two positions that Tony talked about, we went external. That's the first time, and I think the last time we actually even went, and that was for two positions, and that was in Memphis. So the secret sauce is to get on somewhere, internally and work your way through the company. And as Doug said, if it's the experience you want to go get, that's the apprentice program. If it's the experience you want to get and then come back in, then absolutely, an MRO, a regional, carrier. These are all terrific places to get work experience too. And then if in our case FedEx, we're hiring for experienced and not apprentice. Apprentice being we're not looking for people with any experience. We don't want it. In fact, we want to provide that experience. That's the whole point of the apprentice program is about. So.
Okay. Well, that definitely speaks to the longevity. The junior guy in this room has been there for 16 years. That's fantastic. I mean, clearly there's something in the water there, I guess.
It's a terrific company. People, service, profit is what does it.
Yeah. Now, so what does a day-to-day life look like for a technician at FedEx?
I think we kind of pride ourselves on developing a lot of technical tools for our AMTs, and one of those is being able to prepare for the plane before it even gets there. So that's primarily what the AMT is doing in the first hour to two of their day, is preparing for the plane that's coming. Looking to see what kind of write-ups are on the airplane already that are deferred, and they can even look to see if the parts are stored there in their location, so they can start troubleshooting before the plane even gets there. So their first couple hours of work is obviously done that way, and then of course when the plane gets there, meeting with the crew, doing the walk around, looking for those things on the plane that have to be taken care of immediately, because we have a lot of flights that turn within an hour and a half. It's just the state of our business, and so they're out at the airplane predominantly the next couple hours, especially if the plane's going to turn, getting it ready to go back. And then, of course, the next hour after that, they're kind of recapping what they did. If they push the airplane out and the plane's gone, they're probably going to have another plane as well to go to. And then after all of our fleet's gone, they're kind of looking, and hopefully is what we've kind of built our tools around. They're looking at the planes coming in the next day. So that's part of their day, and of course in the aviation industry no day is the same, so they kind of compare or plan for things for tomorrow, but that's kind of the day.
And what Tony described, it kind of is the day in the life of a mechanic. And one thing around what a FedEx and our brand name means reliability. And there's a lot that we do with tools, from iPads to tooling on the airplane, looking and finding ways that we can improve the reliability on our airplanes and prevent delays. At departure, especially, we're a very time-sensitive business.
So that wraps up the questions I had from students, but that leads into something I was curious about. How has aviation maintenance changed in the last, say 20 years with sort of the widespread accessibility of, diagnostic computers, iPads, and so on? What are sort of the more major changes in the industry and in the work recently?
I'd say, moving away from paper in general. You're right. The iPads, we've incorporated iPads in our work environment. Mechanics carry iPads out with them. They can document maintenance. They can pull up, tech data right there at the airplane. They can do documentation of maintenance, and we're just starting to incorporate the electronic maintenance release process. So we're getting away from paper altogether. So that's one of the things. But airplanes airplanes, I mean, they're pretty much the same animal. It's just how best we deal with the situations that arise, and we're always looking for ways to shorten span times, attack problems before they occur, that sort of thing.
We do a lot of work with lean and continual improvement, items as well, right? To work on some of our out of service events and span time, and as Doug mentioned with the the iPads, the iPad is literally, that is our logbook. We don't have logbooks on the airplane at all anymore, and all of our technical data, there is nothing our mechanics need to go, at least technical wise, manuals back to the office for. It's there. If there's a write-up, the flight crews have their own iPads as well, and they put their write-up in the iPad. It populates on the mechanics, and the mechanic can respond and clear the item and do everything right at the airplane, up to and even ordering parts from the airplane as well. So it's really exciting, stuff. And having watched this for 40 years, where at least where I started to where it is now, and it's a new generation of AMTs and mechanics out there too that really embrace this this technology as well. And then on the side of the airplane of enhancements, there's health monitoring systems that are built into the airplanes, especially the 777, the later model airplanes, that the airplanes are telling you what they're doing en route, and that's feeding the iPad. And there's prompts. If that airplane's having a problem, they can see that come up on their computer saying, "Oh, I might have something going wrong with a relay or a sensor or a valve," and it will prompt the mechanic to, "Okay, well, I see this problem. It's coming. The airplane's not here yet, but I'm going to order." That prompt is telling me I need valve ABC, and I'm going to order it and have it at the airplane when it arrives. And it's really fun stuff.
We've installed some interesting equipment in the airplanes that I think it's interesting anyway. It's, one would be the HUD, head-up display, enhanced flight vision system. Allows our airplanes to fly into airports that aren't really served by Cat 3 approaches or anything like that, and they can fly those airplanes in there when the visibility is below minimums for a regular approach. If they can make out the airport and the head-up display with the enhanced vision, you go ahead and land. Same, low visibility takeoffs as well. The other system I think is neat is the main deck fire suppression systems. Man, that's pretty cool. It's it's got a system that'll detect. It's a great safety enhancement on the main deck. If it detects a heat signature in a container, it'll run back there and pierce the container and inject a fire suppression agent. And it's interesting technology.
Interesting technology and huge safety advantage. A big part of aviation safety. In fact, interestingly enough, a couple of the scholarship recipients today are that's where they're headed, into the safety side of the business, which is awesome.
That's great. Now, I sense that all of you have worked hands-on in aviation maintenance. Am I reading you correctly?
You are.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, go ahead. I don't want to keep talking. We all started out as mechanics.
That's great. Now, as you have sort of a little bit less of a hands-on role these days, do you guys have hobbies to keep your hands busy? I know I'm a giant car guy, and I have a desk job now, but I definitely have my own. I've got a garden, I've got bikes that I work on. Do you guys have hobbies?
I can't speak for Tony and Doug, but yeah, I don't know if it's a hobby or addiction, but I ride a lot of motorcycles. I got an El Camino 1970 and I fly privately on the side as well.
Yeah, Scott and I are both pilots. I'm a flight instructor. I like to do that kind of stuff on the side. It keeps me. I actually had my private pilot license before I got my A&P license, and I've just always enjoyed aviation from the ground level on up.
Yeah, I've got 3 kids, 5 grandkids, with 2 more grandkids on the way. So that pretty much keeps me busy traveling to see them on my spare time. So.
That's great. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining me, guys. We're all out of time, and you guys got to get your flight on out of here. So thanks for joining me. This has been great.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
It's great to be here.